All right, what's happening, fam? L.A.R. movement still moving. Subscribe or die trying. You see the thumbnail. I've known you too long to respect you. So, me and my lady were having this conversation about how when people get in relationships, well, she felt like, in a sense, like sometimes family's too comfortable, and I feel like time is too comfortable. You get what I'm saying? So my thing is, if you're in a relationship, a lot of times what happens is the longer somebody knows you, familiarity breeds contempt. Because I was thinking to myself when we were talking about it, where it doesn't matter if it's family, relationship, friend, but the people that you disrespect the most are the people you've known the longest. Because it could be with family, it could be a family member that you've known for years and a family member that you haven't known. And you would not try the family member that you don't know like you try the one that you do know. That was my assessment, right? Same thing with relationships, long-term relationships, marriages. When you get somebody new, you're not gonna try things with them. But if you get somebody, you've been with them for a while, and you're like, oh, we got time invested, so it's not just gonna go left. They're not gonna go hard on me for being out of pocket because we've known each other for so long, blah, blah, blah. And same thing with friends. And I was saying that, at some point you got to take into consideration that the longer a person knows you, sometimes you have to have that 48 laws of power kind of distance or air of mystery, where they don't know what you're doing or what you're going to do next. Because sometimes you get to a point where people don't feel like it's a bad move. Oh man, we cool, like we can always make up. And to me, that's not true. Like, you can't always make up. You get what I'm saying? Like, there's some things you could do that ain't no coming back from. We both kind of came to the agreement about that, where, there are certain lines you cross and you don't necessarily know what those lines are. And some people are silly enough to keep pushing the envelope more and more and more and more and more to see where that line stands. And then to a person on the inside and people on the outside, it could be a smallest little thing that's like, that's really not a big deal. But to the other person, it's like, look, this has been cumulative. You've accumulated this amount of, I don't F with you now. You know what I'm saying? This might be a small thing, but this might be the straw that broke the camel's back. So then, I thought about that. And when you watch sports and sports teams and how fans and we like to say that the coaches and the organizations and the teams are fickle and the fans are fickle. But we don't think about, how quickly people disrespect somebody who they felt like they fell in love with. You get what I'm saying? Where if you're a star player for that city's team, you could have been a star player for 5-10 years. But somehow people can turn on you just like that. You know what I'm saying? Or people say things to you that they wouldn't say to these other players who weren't star players. And it's like, oh, okay. Now then, I've shown what I could do over and over and over and over again. And I've proven and I've given you great memories for years. This wasn't a good game. Okay, I get it. This wasn't a good game. But then it's, you're a bum. You're da, 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 da. But then you show up the next week. Come on. And the reason why that's interesting is because sometimes you find yourself in a situation where the person that you disrespect the most goes AWOL. So just like when your favorite player leaves, and then it's like, oh, wow, they're amazing. Yeah, they were amazing with you too. It's just you didn't appreciate it or you got tired of it. And I can say this, when I was a kid, I was a Bulls fan, right? But I was a Bulls fan when I was a kid in New Orleans, me and my older cousin. My older cousin was a real big basketball fan. So, it was right in the 80s, mid 80s esque. Jordan was killing, when around the time when Jordan played the Celtics, when he dropped like the 63, 64. So now I became a Bulls fan, just being with my older cousin. And then subsequently, I wound up living in Chicago. And I was already a Bulls fan. Now I'm in Chicago. And now I'm there for the whole double three-peat. Like, I'm there for all of that, right? Now, what's interesting is about the fourth title, I checked out. I didn't even watch the games anymore because I was like, I seen this. Bulls down 5, 3 minutes to go. Bulls down 8, 3 minutes to go. Bulls down 9, 3 minutes to go. Jordan has that look in his face, and then couple of defensive stops, couple of steals, a couple of buckets, a fast break here. Bulls go on a 10-2 run or something like that. And now you know how this is going to end. So I got so familiar with it, I said, you know what? I need to be a fan of somebody else. So I wound up being a Sonics fan because I always liked GP. I was like, look, man, I'm going with the Sonics, man. It's the Sonics now on. I don't care what's going on. I like GP. I like Sean Kemp. I'm rocking with them because, this is just ridiculous. And then they stacked the team in Chicago. I was like, y'all got too much talent. I need an underdog now. And you realize over time that, really what it was I was so used to watching a winner that I got desensitized and was like, let me get a majority winner and just not a winner, you know what I'm saying? Which was stupid, but I was young and that happens. So that's my take on it, in the sense of, I knew him too long to respect him now, because I can't respect the greatness because it happens too much. But I haven't seen anything like that since, which I should have been appreciative. But like, share, subscribe, or die trying. Catch you on the next one. Peace.